This offense coming pretty easily against this Raiders defense now.
That kind of tells you how good this offense has been. When Hunter
Cooper Beebe going through the calls at center. Here's Williams with a cutback.
They're 3-5 after 8 games, and they made that trade that year for Amari Cooper, and it turned this team and put them right back in the middle of the race.
Handoff to Malik Davis. Good strong run for another first down. The conference leader, the Eagles, they won last night at home over Detroit. The wild card. Good teams.
He kept everybody on his toes at dinner last night.
Rip away.
He had the feedback on.
Here's Ferguson with a catch, and he's ripped Ferguson.
Well, this Dallas offense right now, they're just playing with a lot of confidence. They out of those 2 games where they just
coming off back-to-back losses, looking good tonight. Here's Pickens, another, and just still rumbling, reaching for the end zone, but he
gets juked, and it just opens up a real throwing lane.
Here's Davis on 1st and goal. Kelly again.
You know, we heard game. He did not see this coming. I mean, this defense has they've done a lot of good things, and they've been getting better. And Patrick Graham.
2nd down and goal. Prescott wide open, touchdown grab.
You know, Joe, Ryan Flanoy, he doesn't get a lot of opportunity. You see him mostly and like what he's able to do. You watch him, and he's running full speed off the ball all the time. Even it's a big-time play on his part.
He's been a project, and he has really grown. Ryan Flanoy, 6th-round pick
already. And now you add Quinnen Williams, and again with Kenny Clark and Osa Odighizuwa and what they're able to do. I mean, record, we've watched it over the years with him with the Jets.
Laobe on the return. Nice return. Flowers to the season. He had 1 sack in 8 games with the Jets, and the Jets were on a bye. Then he gets traded to the Cowboys, who were on
him. And I thought it was interesting in talking with him how much he still leans on the words of Nick Saban. Haven't played football. Hear those words of Saban in their sleep often that has inspired them to be better.
Genty hit in stride, and it's playing time to the rookie Barrett Carter. And so he requested a trade, and he lands in Dallas.
To be as a leader. I mean, he's one of the best leaders, and everyone with the Bengals will tell you the same.
Here's Mayer.
It will be, as we talk about with Dallas, what this will look like. I mean, it looks really good tonight, and we thought that it might.
And this will be a false start. These Raiders are continuing to play without the outstanding left tackle, Colton Miller, who has a high ankle sprain and a Geno Smith, catch made.
Well, Deron Bland, I think this is a heck of a play by him. He's locked up. We've seen that matchup now a few times here tonight, but to be able to get Bowers, it's a pretty good tackle on the big guy.
Brock Bowers, 235 pounds. Deron Bland, 202, but hung on. But 4th down and 1 for the Raiders. Trying to stay alive in this game. Toss to Genty, and that was all the rookie. Landed flat on his back.
Yeah, I don't know about you as we take a look at it, Joe, but watching that, I think my back went in.
They fake it to Mostert. Mayer. Nice gain on first.
Michael Mayer a little bit earlier in this ball game, and I just would reiterate, I just been really impressed with when he was drafted in the 2nd. He's a solid player.
Nice job by Geno Smith to get up and get that pass into the arms of draft picks. And a drop by Bowers. I think, you know, they had the organization with an NFL rookie record 112 catches in 2024.
Yeah, he'd be a hard guy to pass up. And former quarterback, I think it's a good package to run, and they run it a lot.
Mostert gets 2.
As I'm up here broadcasting, but you know, when you've got 2 good tight ends, I think it just simplifies the.
Take his word for it. 3rd down and 8. Lockett with a nice catch on a good throw. Tyler Lockett, who was signed at the end of October. 10 years with the Seahawks. 10th play of the drive. Genty with a rare carry and right into the arms of Kenny Clark. Line. line.
Well, Will Putnam, the left guard, center, he gets just put on his back. The ball, he's getting hit.
Smith, time runs out, being chased from behind. To it for Ashton Genty, coming into tonight's game, averaging 1.4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. And again, the Raiders will keep the offense out there and go for it down
4th down, but it's just kind of what it's been throughout this game and throughout the year that the big chunks have been.
4th down and 4. Smith with room in front of him is going to go, gets around Logan Wilson and slides.
And he steps up, nobody there, they're locked up in man coverage, he takes off and runs and wisely gets to the ground. You got ready.
Quick throw, Tucker looking for blocks. He's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Trey Tucker, then he's got to go punch it in. He's one-on-one on Donovan Wilson, and he's able to do that. And this is a guy who's had to be elevated now. I think he's got a really bright future. He really is a good young player.
Extra point is good by Carlson as Turpin gets it on a bounce. And will return it with some room out in front of him. Able to was his hero, Marty Schottenheimer, but he's more like Pete Carroll as a coach.
What I thought was, and Brian said he really didn't have an answer. And he said it was a really powerful moment right then. And it, like so many assistant coaches, really helped shape him as a young football coach.
Devontae Williams able to shake off that initial tackle, Marty. But what do you, Brian Schottenheimer, believe in as far as football philosophy? And it forced Brian to really.
Pete Carroll, as positive as he is and all the energy that he brings and the competition, pretty funny the way that he incorporates competition that hasn't had much success the last couple of decades, and stick with him long enough, he'll get him in the right direction.
Turpin can't go, and a punt coming up from the Cowboys.
Yeah, really great job. He has him, just a ball that's behind him, and Turpin just not able to make the catch. And
beyond impressed with the way Brian Schottenheimer has handled this team through this Marshawn Nealon tragedy. Getting his team ready to play.
He probably would have been better off just letting it roll and hopefully get into the end zone. He just wasn't real sure what to do with it.
So down by 50.
Go hard play action. They've got 3 tight ends. It's a good opportunity.
And they're going to go back to the 1.
Yeah, they backed up. I couldn't tell if it's a good time to use hard count if he was. I'm not 100% certain he was, but we'll take a listen. Hard line.
Watch out here, Genty, Ezaraku. It's a safety.
If you see Ashton Genty, when he gets the ball, Joe, the end zone, and he just, as a young player, and I'm not saying he's going to make anything out of this, but just get it across the goal line.
While was there, Donovan Wilson, they had a lot of players ready to make a play, but Ezaraku will get makes it a 17-point game, and the Cowboys will get it back after the free kick.
Please set the game clock to 11:39.
Getting caught, whether or not to field it or let it go, and then the false start.
And Pete Carroll is going to go to the official, I believe. Joe, you have to declare that, right, Russell?
Yeah, if you're going to do an onside kick, whether it's a safety or a regular kickoff, you need option.
The league is 3 for 38 on onside kick. A.J. Cole will be the one in charge of trying to give his teammates a chance. Popped up straight into the air. Recovered by Pickens. Why not? But it bounced right into the gut of George Pickens.
Yeah, I don't recall ever seeing an onside kick punt, but
punt it fairly high and make sure it doesn't go past the 45.
Catch?
Yeah, they can absolutely call a fair catch on a safety kick.
They did it the old-fashioned way. Javonte Williams. At a gain of 3. Butler's been playing with a bad back. 2nd down and 7.
Well, we mentioned Javonte Williams, whether or not he would set a season high. Over.
It's Vegas. It brings out the prognosticator in all of us. Here is Lamb. The ball comes down, and he was right there.
Evaluating some of these players and who's playing hard and who's giving up and who's going to finish this game for the Raiders.
Going to the sideline.
Everybody's a little hot
now, but he was hot throwing the ball for the majority of this ball game. CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, this good run after the.
As to what went into the decision to.
Here's Lipke for a 1st down.
A good tough running by Lipke again. You know, I think, especially in a game like this, you know, you've had the bye week, you're coming off a couple of losses. You have amazing at that. He did it a lot. And the team typically responded to him, and this team has this year really well.
Yep. Prescott in trouble, able to dump it to Turpin, and Jamal Adams brings Cavante.
Well, Jamal Adams, you don't have to worry about him as far as what his effort's going to be and how he's going to finish a ball game. He's for him as he tries to turn this thing around.
Crosby was complaining that there was a false start. This is against.
It might be on Tyler Booker. It might be on Dallas at the end of that play, or towards the end anyway.
52, 15-yard penalty. The line of the game was reached. It's 1st down.
It's Tyler Booker, and they just
right here.
And you could see that rock by Terrence Steele. The officials didn't see it. And then at the end of the play, and now they're going to shut this one down. So whatever needed to get sorted out.
Well, Sarah Thomas.
They fake it to Williams, flip it to Ferguson, trying to get a block from the left tackle.
I mentioned him earlier. This guy's as tough as they come. He's rarely ever looking to go out of bounds. Here's the hit at the end of that.
And 3. Williams.
I heard it so many times I think I heard it in my sleep.
Talking about the cadence by Dak Prescott. At least it's been. Nope. 3rd down and 2. Play clock was at 0. Lamb with a catch and a 1st down. And stays in to go. Cowboys, if they get a win, will go to 4-5-1. We've touched on it a couple of times. A home game against Philadelphia. Their next opponent won the Super Bowl. Here's Javonte. Down inside
a big game, a game they have to win after having lost week 1 against Philadelphia. And then the quick turn game feeling really good, at least of the guys they brought in defensively.
Here's the tight end. Catch to that gain of 4.
Yeah, good job by him. And yeah, everybody kind of has their role, and for him, everyone's getting an opportunity tonight. This could be a nice flight home for the Cowboys.
By the way, your prognostication skills. Carry number 22, and Crosby is the first to meet him. It brings up 4th down. 17 points were already there, so forgot about the safety. Here they are knocking on the door. Mark Davis. His team staring at a 2-8.
Opportunity to remain as the head coach, but it's the best year they've had here in Vegas.
17-point ball game, and now with a penalty and then suffered a safety. Now they start inside their 5 again. Pass is caught out on the edge by trade was made for Logan Wilson, and Murray's made a couple of plays in this ball game tonight.
He has. He was able to get underneath the one throw that led to the linebacker position or not.
Catch is made by Bowers. He was stopped short of 1st down. Had 1 catch. Tonight, different story. 12 targets, 7 for 72.
Yeah, if you're Chip Kelly, play sheet doesn't look too good.
Geno Smith is just able to get rid of it as he would. 97 got there.
He does a good job, and even for Oso Diggins, but he certainly gives them a lot of flexibility in what they're able to do and how teams have to play them.
It's 4th down, and Smith is
27 right over the center. There in the middle, and he just goes right through. And this has been all night. And if you're a Raiders, probably going to be most upset about is this is a team that has thrown the ball 46,
3 sacks here in this ball game.
Well, and I do think that we'll see a little more of for an opposing offense, and that's what that allows them to do. Now you strengthen one area, you weaken another.
Max Crosby is still proving that he is willing to come off the ball, even with the Cowboys taking a knee, and that will take us to deal with all of those emotions, losing a teammate, and then to put this game together after losing 2 coming off the bites. I don't care who the opponent is.
This is a teammate like that, but the impact in such a short period of time that Marshawn Nealon out here tonight, as they hoped to do, and they were able to honor him. With locker room should be proud of the way they came out and really dominated all phases of the game.
And as we mentioned earlier, clock after turning it over on down.